Look at that.
That's where the TV comes in handy.
It's easy to see now, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So, okay, like I said, this is a pheasant tail nymph, one of probably my most productive patterns for trout and other stuff. I mean, it's just a great pattern. This one, you could tie it with weight, without weight. I typically don't tie with weight, and it's more of an emerger is how I fish it. But you can add weight just like you can. And tonight we won't use any weight but the wire. So I got some medium wire that adds some weight to it. So, all right, we'll go ahead and get started. So you should have a bag with, should have 2 hooks, 6 strands of peacock herl, some copper wire, some pheasant tail, and a partridge feather. So we're going to start off with the pheasant tail. Let me grab. So
which one are we doing first?
So we're going to do the flashback first, the traditional. And then we'll do the wet. The wet's a little easier, but we'll start with the flash. So we'll put our hook in our vise. Start your thread. This one is really easy to crowd your eye. So I like to start the thread about a hook eye back as a gauge. And you don't want to go past that whenever we are building material, because you want to leave that front end for your head. So we advance all the way back to about where the barb. If you let it hang right at the barb. So, and you can wrap a few threads, make a base. But we want to that's going to be our gauge on both ends. And I use 8/0 thread on this because it's such a small fly. So it's not for build-up, but so it don't get built up too much. But so you can break the thread on these little bitty flies on that tip pretty easy. I've done it like 3 times yesterday when I was tying. So, all right. So start off. I've already got y'all's pheasant tail kind of cut into sections. You should be able to do 2 flies with that. So you want to take about 10 strands. It could be. It don't even have to be 10. It could be 5. It could be 7. But up to 10 strands. And you're going to cut them. If you look at it at the base, you should end up with something like this. Okay, kind of have them even on the end. Don't have to be perfect because we're going to cut that off. But we're going to use every bit of this for the tail and the body.
So about 5?
5 of them? 5's fine. Yeah, just an estimate. Anywhere from 5 to 10. You don't have to count them, but I mean, it's just if you want a thicker body, you go with more. So once you get that, to measure it, the tail, if you put it on the end, you're going to go about 2/3 the way of the hook. Because that's going to be your tail. And you pinch that back, grab it there, and just wrap it around a couple times. And don't advance it forward, just leave it where it's at, that one spot. All right, everybody caught up with me on this? We're putting the tail on. Okay, so we'll take our thread, bring it in front of it, about 2/3 of the way down. We're going to take our copper wire. We're actually going to hit the copper wire. It's going to be actually underneath the hook, but for now you can tie it on parallel to the hook shank. And you're going to come back around and you're going to come back to that one spot where you tied that pheasant tail on. Make a couple wraps, and I'm just going to push it down. I don't know if it really makes a difference. Some people say it makes a difference on whether it rides, how it rides in the water or flutters or not, but for instructional sake, we'll just go with it on the bottom. Okay? So now you have your wire, you have your pheasant tail. Okay? So if you have hackle pliers,
Cut the copper? Cut the copper off?
yeah. Do you see how I put the copper on? Put it about.
Leave it. You want? No, you don't cut it all off.
Yeah, no, leave it hanging, because we're gonna wrap this. We're gonna wrap this around. So
Your rib.
yeah, this is gonna be your rib. So you wanna kind of bring a few wraps around that base right there, because when we start turning it, I don't want it to roll. So you want to put 4 or 5 thread wraps on there. So when y'all are ready with that, if you have hackle pliers, fine. It helps. If you don't, you can do it without. So put our copper wire down. We're going to wrap. I'm sorry. Let's advance our thread first. Sorry, I missed a step. Advance our thread. Go back to that 2/3 mark of the hook. And that's about where we're going to stop. We're going to wrap this the same way we wrap our thread. You wrap it over the top, over the bottom. Sometimes it works better without hackle pliers, but to get it started. And just wrap it all the way. Broke one off. I actually broke a couple strands off. That's all right. So once you get it about 2/3 of the way up, we're going to capture that material a couple times.
The wire's still on the back.
Wire still in the back.
Still on the back.
Yeah, so I broke one of these strands off, but that's okay. We cut it off. Okay. So once we get to that point, if you're like mine, the thread's on the bottom, don't want to cut your thread. We just want to cut those extra fibers off.
Yeah, just palmering that pheasant tail all the way around it. You can actually, it's about 2/3 of the way up. You can palm that sucker. Whichever direction is easiest for you to do it.
All right. So the rib, we're going to actually wrap. We're going to opposite wrap this. So if you normally wrap over the top, we're going to bring the rib under the top, and we're going to put 4 wraps on it. So about 4 wraps.
And you're counter wrapping to the direction.
You counter wrapping, yeah, the opposite way you wrap, you go through thread. So that's 4 on the body. Then I just wrap an extra one just so I can capture it. So being we counter wrapped it, if you were just wrap thread over, sometimes it'll make it loose. So what I do is I'll typically wrap the thread around it a couple times, and then cinch it up. And then we're going to capture that. Might have to go a few times, front and back. It is easier with the threes.
The three.
Three.
Oh, 3x. Yeah.
I can actually kind of see what I'm doing. So, all right. So once we got to that point, you could cut that off, or you could helicopter it off. We're going to break that wire off. This is a little thicker wire, so it takes a little more, but that method makes a nice clean break on it. Okay. All right. Looks better on the other side. Okay. So the next material, you should have a little piece of flash in there. For your flashback. We're going to take this. Bring our thread to the front. We're going to take this. A couple loose wraps. Cinch it down. End up with something like that.
Now there's Flash and then there's Peacock. Which one is Flash?
So not the peacock curl. This is the flash, the flashy strip.
They got it. Yeah. Peacock's gonna go in next, but Flash first.
Yep, flat, because that's going to go on the top. So now we're going to grab about
So we just tie it
5 to 10 more peacock
behind where you had
from pheasant tail fibers.
and tie it back towards the tail.
Peacock or pheasant?
Pheasant. So I know I said peacock first.
Your flashback.
Yeah. Sydney's got me messed up. So
Tie it off now, or is it gonna the wire? Yeah. There was a couple of wraps in there. Yeah, I mean you put a rib on it, right?
okay. So this right here, you want to make sure these are straight. So you want to kind of make sure they're somewhat straight. Doesn't have to be perfect. What we're going to do with this is going to actually, the tips we're going to use is the gills. So that's going to be the gills on this fly. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to hang it over the front about 5/16.
Is that a metric?
4 millimeters.
Thank you.
So yeah.
Doing the, oh, that's not.
He's got pheasant. Yeah, cut a few more pheasant tail fibers.
Okay. Yeah, so we're going to cut about anywhere from 5 to 10 more pheasant tail fibers, and we're going to make the ends straight on one end, and we're going to let it hang off the end. Well, you can let them go a little longer if you want longer gills or shorter, however you want it to look.
How did the fish want it to look?
However you tie it,
I always thought they were
To be
on.
honest with you.
however you like it. That's how they like it.
Maybe this is right here.
Just so you can visually see it, I'll tie it a little longer.
I mean, if it's a merger, it doesn't even have gills.
Do the fish know that?
You want to get technical. I think at the point at which the merger.
Well, you could fish it as an emergent nymph.
Yeah.
So yeah. So everybody with me right now on that?
I don't know anymore. I don't know what he's doing.
Brought your thread. That's just behind the eye.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap our threads back to where we stopped our
I know what
flash.
he's doing yet. So.
Okay,
Can't see it.
you can see it good.
Yeah.
No, I was saying you couldn't see into the future on this.
Right. That's all I'm saying. I can't. I gotta wait until you get through a bunch of.
Well, this is awesome.
steps.
This is like iconic, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, but there's a bunch of flies that are very. I mean,
I
I
know.
thought you were gonna palmer peacock curl around.
That's next.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So this is going to be our. So now we're starting our thorax, which is this is going to be our. If you want to call it our wing case, and what represents the bubble.
Right. Yeah. See, I probably wouldn't have put a wing case on it just because of the flashback.
So that one, that top one is more of the peacock. I mean the
Pheasant tail.
Yeah. So you only need. I only gave y'all three of these peacock curl fibers because that's really all it takes. But if y'all need more,
No, actually, you gave us 6.
yeah, we're tying 2 flies. So what we're gonna do is you got the ends like this. You want to kind of cut those off.
If you want to see it, you gotta hold it.
Oh,
Same
yeah.
distance. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So those things on the front essentially are going to get tied back to each side.
Yep. So we're gonna cut that off.
Trying to figure.
Just give us something better to
Right.
tie to. So I like to tie this on kind of at a 45. So our thread is back at the start of our thorax and the end of our body. So we want to capture our peacock. Like that. Cut off our excess.
Just one strand of
3. 3 straight. You should have 6 total.
I mean, theoretically, you could do it with one, but it requires a lot more wrapping.
You could do it with 1, but yeah, it would take you a little while. So bring your thread back. This is kind of an important step. You don't want to crowd your eye on this fly. You know, it's easy to do. Bring your thread back to about an eye width back, and that's going to be your gauge. So when you're tying this stuff on, if you have hackle pliers, or if you don't, it's better to kind of twist this like this, because what'll happen, kind of like as you saw the pheasant tail did, it kind of gets away from you and it wants to lay flat. But if you kind of twist it like that, and the reason why we use 3, it's just more bulk.
You can even twist it on that thread too.
You could do that too.
I'm just saying if you have problems with it,
Right.
especially if you have like really brittle
Right.
stuff.
So you want to wrap. This just kind of depends on how thick you like the. Yeah, you see how it's starting to do that, starting to get away from you. Twist it. And I don't want to go past that where my thread is. And we're just going to kind of build up. The hackle pliers just help also just to put weight on it.
So you kind of go over the same spot over and over again?
Yeah.
You don't just build forward? Yeah, so you build
Go over the same
forward.
spot.
Okay.
So I'm making it a little bulky.
Yeah.
On this one. It's a little tedious. If you're like me and you want it perfect.
Yeah, like I said, you got to look at that.
So like I said, you better do it like that, twist it, and it kind of stays together. Okay?
I can see if I had a video of the guy that does it,
So-
like that it wraps it around the
Yep.
thread.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
So after you get it done, you get a nice, because you want your thorax about twice the diameter of your body. Just a decent rule of thumb. I'm going to take your thread over. Usually all it takes is a couple times. Capture it. Okay, now we're going to cut this off. Anybody crown their eye yet? It's easy to do. So we'll wrap a few thread wraps.
Stay away from it.
Okay. All right. We're almost done. So once you get that, you're going to pull your wing case back forward, and you're going to wrap a couple times around there. You don't want to wrap too much because you don't want too much bulk. Okay, just leave it like that. Now we're going to take our flashback and we're going to come over the top of that. So this stuff, the way to handle this is you want to hold it with this hand, wrap your thread a couple times, because what it'll do, it likes to slide.
And if you're really worried about bulk, especially in a smaller fly, you can tie those both together. The pheasant and
So what I do with this, because it slides, I'll actually pull it back like that, and I'll come back over it. See, so it kind of locks all that material down. Some flies actually I'll actually leave, like I may cut it like back there and just kind of leave like a little tag in. Don't know if it makes a difference, but sometimes it does to me. But you could we'll just cut this with flush. Okay. So now, if you look at it like that. Okay. So now we're going to take the butt ends of our pheasant tail, and we're just going to cut that flush.
Once you bring that mile over, cut it off.
Yeah, cut the excess off. I'll wait for everybody to catch up to the legs. It's a little, I would say
Are they
tedious.
gills or legs?
Gills.
So I was about to say, make it
Because
be
I always
mine,
thought it was
bro.
legs.
It might be legs. It could be legs. However, I always thought
I
it
think
was
it's cooler. if it's
gills.
Gills, yeah.
But Sydney may have corrected me on that. So
No, that was him, not me.
Well, I don't know. It probably can imitate multiple different types
Yeah.
of bugs.
Yeah.
So it could be either one.
yeah, I mean, this was actually made as a mayfly pattern, but it could be anything. I mean, I've caught it during all kind of hatches for trout. I mean, it just
Look,
to me it's the most productive.
I mean, the thing
But I'm
is,
the most I have the most confidence
when
in it,
trout
right?
are eating, unless they're super picky, they're gonna eat. You know.
I don't know. I've had it work when nothing else would. So I mean, if you throw a pheasant tail, you got to catch something.
Cordy Special would have caught that trout. Cordy Special would have caught that trout. It's about the same.
Oh, I knew that was coming. All right, everybody at this point, or you may hold off till we get to the last step. Tie this fly next one easy.
Yeah.
Easier.
Zoom in for that.
The worst.
It helps to have that, where I can see it too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, everybody with me? All right. So now what we're going to do, we're going to separate the gills or the legs, whatever you want to call them, and we're going to separate them. Just 50% of them. Just it don't have to be equal, and we're going to push them back. Okay. Now we want these on the side, so we're going to hold it like this, and we're going to wrap. Let's just wrap a couple times, and we'll see what it looks like. So it should look like that. Can y'all see that? Okay. So you want to just have those hanging out the side. Now we're going to finish the head of our fly off. Very good. I got a little too much bulk. Take some off. Anybody have any trouble with that?
You like that right now.
All right.
Or you almost want to just like put a dab of super glue and take 2 turns and not even try.
There's so many ways. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, now we'll finish the head off. Finish it off. And that's the pheasant tail. So you see how they're kind of splayed out on each side? So another thing that I do with this, I don't have any epoxy with me, but what you can do, what I always do on most of my patterns is I'll stick a little dab of UV epoxy on top and make a bubble on top, and then just cure it right there. And I think it gives it a little bit more of a dome, like an air. That's supposed to be like an air bubble. So. Those stragglers there. All right. All right. So now what we're going to do, if y'all are up to it, we're going to do another pattern, but this one's easier. Okay. So the next one we're going to do. This is what I call the wet fly version of the pheasant tail. So it's a wet fly pheasant tail nymph. Okay. So again, okay, so same thing. We're going to start our thread about hook eye back.
This one we can go just roughly around hook eye back.
Yep, same thing. Same thread pattern all the way back to the barb. Build your base up a little bit. Stop. So it's about a hook eye. It's kind of a gauge. Okay. Again, go back to the back portion, almost to the bend of the hook.
So we're doing another one.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I figured these were easy enough. We could do a couple. So same thing, grab around 5 to 10 fibers. If y'all don't have enough, we have plenty. And you're going to do the same thing. We're going to measure it about 2/3 of the way back. Set it on. Grab it with the other hand. Okay, once you get that, we're going to bring our thread back up around 2/3 of the way, and just like I said, I tie these more for like in a murder pattern. I might tie something else to weight it down. I can have a lot of versatility like this, but you can also add weight. If you want to add weight to this, you can add lead wire without a bead head underneath the thorax, and that's typically where it's put. So we'll bring this back and kind of tuck that wire underneath. A couple wraps. Okay. See if I can do this without breaking the fibers. And this pheasant tail is so it's so brittle. Sometimes if you just hit it with the hook point, it'll cut it. It'll break them off too. You need more? Here, take some. Yeah, that may not be a good one. Yeah, because you want to use and like I said, what I didn't explain either is you want to kind of use the midsection from here to here for this pattern. Once you get to the tip section, they're a little short, and it makes it kind of difficult. See how long these are. You want to kind of use those longer fibers.
Some size 20s.
Yeah, that's for the size 20s. So take this, and I showed y'all one method. You could do the same thing we did on the peacock curl on this one, and it makes it a little easier sometimes. So we can twist it to almost make like a rope, and they don't break as easy. But they come out.
That's the peacock curl you trying, or the
No,
pheasant?
Pheasant.
Okay.
I'll probably keep saying peacock
We
curl.
should do one reverse where every step you do
You go and
pheasant tail, you
you do an
peacock
exact
curl.
same thing till you get
Flip
up.
it the other way.
Yeah.
You build it the same way you built the other
It'll be
one.
like a zug bug or something.
Yeah, sometimes it's easier just to use your fingers and not, sometimes depending on what kind of day I'm having, whether it's easier. Like today seems like more.
I've had like putting my finger
Yeah.
on it every
But
wrap.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
So way you could do this, wrap it, put your finger on it like this. If you're doing it the old manual way.
Oh, he's got wire in there.
Well, except there's the thin start on your feather. So we got to smaller flies that make a difference as far as that goes. But for this one, it should not matter.
Okay, we'll capture those down.
Should not be able to take these things with red wraps.
Scissors are getting a little dull.
Or no, because you can
Okay.
start
So now,
capturing your wire near the
reverse wrap.
middle of it. Near the middle? Yeah.
So a lot of times, the reason why they put wire on a lot of these, because a trout will actually break this pretty easy. You catch 1 or 2 trout, and then all them fibers will come loose. This really just holds the material, but it also gives the segmentation of a natural insect. So, but that's why you reverse wrap it. So that's 4 wraps. Yep. Take our thread, wrap it around a couple times. Back. Rocking out in here.
You wrap the pheasant tail at the bottom.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So once you get your wire, we helicopter it off or cut it. Don't use the tip of your scissors, because it'll definitely dull them pretty quick. Okay. Okay, everybody with me?
Honestly, no.
Oh, I'm sure you're doing fine. Okay, so now at this point, we're just going to tie in our peacock curl. So there's no flashback, there's no wing case on this one.
It's supposed to fly away.
Okay, and just like before, we're going to wrap peacock curl up to about, I don't know, hook eye away. Build it. I like to build this one up a little more because we're going to have the hackle feather on the front, and this is kind of helps to kind of keep it out away from the body. Okay, so I'll wait till everybody catch up. I don't think that will come out as pretty as my other ones, but
Yeah, that makes sense. I've never done it where I just like wrapping the peacock over itself to make it thick like that. I don't know why I never.
These
just,
all-
like tried to use more strands to make it thicker.
yeah. I tie quite a bit of these, but typically I would tie these in probably the 14 to 16.
This is a 12.
And that's a 12. I just picked a 12 so we can see it a little better.
Yeah.
Because
Everyone thanks you.
16 and yeah, if I'd had 10 hooks, I'd have probably used that, but I didn't have 10, so. But then the problem with the bigger hook, then you use more of the pheasant tail fiber, so you need a longer fiber.
One, yeah.
So it's kind of a trade-off, right? So, all right. So this one, I like using partridge. This is a partridge skin I've had for I don't know how long, forever. And where I typically would get these feathers was right here on the shoulder. You just want to. I've already picked y'all's out the right size.
Pick up on the camera a bit. Yeah.
So I want to pick. I know y'all can't see that on there, but I thought that was kind of thick. All right, so if you got your feather, you want to take all this fluffy stuff off. Bless you. All right. And we're going to tie this in the tip first. We're going to take probably the majority of it, and we're going to kind of pull it back like that, and we're going to leave our little triangle up there. So,
Put that from the camera again. Okay, good.
so how we want to tie this in, you want to have, I guess, the colorful side up. And you really got to watch it. Sometimes if you turn your thread counterclockwise, it'll want to go back. If you turn it the other way, it'll fall off the end of the hook. So what we do, you want to tie that triangle on right where that starting point was. Like that. Okay. So then I'm going to pull it back before I cut it and bring a couple thread wraps in front of it. And it just kind of jams it in there because it'll pull out pretty easy.
Right, gotta stop right there for a minute. Alright, so
I got plenty of these if y'all break it. So. All right, so we're going to take that, we're going to clip off that triangle close as you can. It's another place where hackle pliers come in handy. They're not a necessity, but they definitely help. Don't want to put too much weight on it, and we're only going to wrap this probably 1.5 times. Okay. And we're going to take our thread and we're going to kind of weave it back through. Don't worry about how it looks at this point because we're going to clean it up. One on each side, a couple on each side. Okay. So it's just going to look like that for now. Then you're going to find the base of that feather. And you're going to take your scissors. The reason why I got it on both sides so you can kind of see that stem. And we're going to cut that stem. It's okay if you cut a couple of your fibers. Like that. Perfect wings.
Are those gills?
These are legs. These are legs. Yeah. We went from the gills to the legs here.
this one is gonna crowd the head.
So I always like to put a little bit more because you can always take off if it's too thick. As you see in the first example I showed you was very sparse. Now you go come up, you go have something like this. It's like kind of a mess. We're just going to pull that back like that, and we're just going to tie over it. We want to kind of wrap your thread up a little bit to where it just splays back up against that peacock curl and it sticks out. That's what it's going to look like. And you can kind of, at this point, kind of move them around. Okay, all right. Now, once you got that to where about, you don't want to tie it too flat, but you want them just kind of straight out to where they're just kind of sticking out like that. Finish off your head. You take the point of your scissors and kind of get the legs, kind of see like mine are kind of bunched up. Kind of, you can use a bobkin for this too. If you don't like, if it's too thick for you, just take a couple of these. They pull right off. Bottom's a little thick.
Good tip. Never done that.
Palmer. Taking some of that fluff off so you can see.
Get it about you. They like it. And so this, and just put some head cement on it. It's always good to have a little head cement to where it'll won't come untied because they'll. This trout has some pretty sharp teeth, believe it or not, or maybe more like a sandpaper mouth, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a lot of head cement on there. What I typically do is I'll take like one of these pheasant tail fibers, peacock curls, and I'll take it and I'll run it through the eye to get some of that glue out because it really kind of absorbs that glue. It's easier to get it out now than before. And there you go. Does anybody have any epoxy? I want to show you how to do the wing case bubble. I forgot to bring some. Thanks. So if y'all want to try this, like I said, I don't have enough, but I'm going to show y'all how I do the bubble on it, the air bubble. So we're going to take. You can use. I like using thick because it actually stays up a little longer. We're just going to put, and we're going to kind of build that up. This is pretty thin, this stuff. I like using the thicker stuff, but it actually it'll create like a little dome on top. If y'all can see that. But if you look at it from the side now, you can actually see the flash.
So use the light as you're applying the thin stuff, and you'll be able to get it done a little better.
Yeah.
Instead of it just sucking in like that.
Yeah. So if you look at the difference,
Oh, yeah.
between one that I did, see how it flashes a lot more versus if you look at this from the side, you can't even hardly see it, right? I think it makes a big difference. Put them side by side.
Do I know where you work?
So, all right. That wasn't too hard to tie, huh?
Not good.
Let's go.
Good.
A little small. Might be the smallest one we've done, huh?
Probably so.
Yeah.
Somehow I used to do 16 pheasant tail. Yeah,
Yeah. Plus, I went to 3, so I could.
I need to get some of those.
So yeah.
Trees.
All right. Well, thank y'all.
Yeah, you said these what, 12s? 12.